Hi guys, Maria here, founder of Travelries. Travelries is on a mission to make it easier to travel long term. There's so much information out there about travel. It is almost all geared towards vacationers. And traveling long term on an adult gap year, on a travel sabbatical, it's just completely different. So we are here to help you out. We're launching on YouTube with 30 days of 30 travel tips. We are on day 17. If you haven't checked out the first 16 tips, I highly recommend going back. There's a ton of really valuable information in there for you. But without further ado, tip number 17. This ties to our theme of not burning out on your travel sabbatical or adult gap year. We talked about this a little bit in the past. One of the great ways to avoid burning out on your trip is to do less. How much less? I'll tell you in a sec. So just to underline why this happens, most people are used to a vacation style of travel, fitting in everything they want to do. If you're sick, you power through, you still go kayaking. If you're tired, you're still going to wake up early. You're not going to sleep in. You've got all these things planned. And taking that kind of mindset to long-term travel, it does not work. Because in essence, you're living abroad. And at home, you had weekends. Now you don't have weekends. You've packed them full of things to do. So you're going to be physically tired. I talked before about ways to build in buffer days to give yourself a break and how much to do that. I think that was even our first tip in this series. So definitely go back and check that out. But doing less and planning to do less goes a long way for setting yourself up for success to not burn out. So how much less should you do? My rule of thumb is plan to spend, to go to no more than, in terms of countries, 2 times the number of months you are traveling. So if you're traveling for 6 months, don't plan to go to more than 12 countries. Now, look, this is a rule of thumb. If you're going to China or India or the US, these are massive countries. So if you really want to see that country versus just a small region of it, you're going to need more than 2 weeks. That might be 6 weeks versus if you're going to go to Andorra or Luxembourg or San Marino, you're going to need 2 weeks. Singapore, you might take a couple days. So averaging out to about 2 weeks, this can be a good barometer for you on if you are trying to do way too much or way too little. Now, I will say the hardest part in this is not the execution of planning this. It is accepting that you need to do less. I don't know about you guys, but I will say when we started planning our adult gap year, we were planning on going to 60 countries. And that would have been an insane itinerary, like absolutely insane. Instead, we went to about 23. And the reality is, the more countries you plan to go to, the more transit days you are going to have. And those transit days where you're hauling your backpack on a train, on a bus, dealing with airports, they're going to be the most exhausting. So the more places you go to, the more transit days you're going to have, the more exhausted you're going to be. And you really won't get to take advantage of all the places that you're traveling to. So who wants that? So do the best that you can to accept now. Doing less is going to help your experience long term. And worst case, you can always decide to do more, that you have the energy while you're traveling. It's much easier to add than to subtract from your itinerary while you're traveling, both emotionally and logistically. So that's the tip for today. Number 17, don't burn out by doing less. Guys, this is a new channel. Be sure to like and subscribe. Travelries is on a mission to make it easier to take your travel sabbatical or adult gap year. Because serious mileage requires serious expertise, and we are here to help. You can subscribe on here. You can also follow us on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, Substack. We have a mailing list through our website that we send out monthly. Our Substack is weekly. And if you're curious about what long-term travel could look like for you, feel free to book a free consult with us through our website. We might be able to help you with planning your whole trip, or maybe you just want to chat. See you guys tomorrow for tip number 18.